Hello, welcome back to the Unfiltered Podcast. I'm your host, Alexander Sharma, and I'm here with the boys. Back again and on time this time. Thank you, Jen, for being on time today.
You're very welcome.
And how are you boys doing? What have you guys got today for us to discuss?
Well, obviously, I think we all know that Halloween has already fucking passed.
Yeah.
But however, nonetheless, there's still some scary stuff that has remained to be talked about.
Winter is a scary stuff that remains to be talked about, but
Winter's scary, man.
winter is fucking scary.
Black ice on roads. Bro, you could be going 40 and you'd still be fucked.
You'd be fucked
You
royal.
could be standing under a tree and a fucking icicle can just hit your head someday.
I'd say that's more Hollywood logic, but sure. Yeah, that's.
I think that's Tom and Jerry logic. The icicle just falls on your...
I mean, people here scared me like that.
Yeah.
Don't stand under an icicle, it might fall. You would.
I mean, to be fair, you're pretty dumb if you're standing directly beneath an icicle.
Yeah, like you shouldn't. Like I agree that you shouldn't stand under one. Yeah.
You know what else shouldn't happen in horror movies? The first time when you see a creature or a ghost appear, that should be the first time for you to get the fuck out. But
Yeah.
people still say, because it's a $100 million budget movie, right?
Yeah, well, the scary stuff needs to happen in order for the movie to be successful.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, yeah, like, fuck.
That happens, and the world is also such a unique place where we've sort of taken inspiration from real life scary things and put our own unique spin to it and dramatized it. Like, for example, I was bored one day, like I smoked too much weed, and I just wanted to watch something interesting about Canada, right? And now I know about Niagara Falls and all the touristy shit, but I want to get something that's a little creepy and a little scary. So I found out about this place that I believe you also know. It's called the Nahanni Valley, also known as Dead Man's Valley or the Headless Valley, located in British Columbia. And the scary thing about that place is you can't reach that place easily. It's in an inaccessible road. You need to take a plane that lands you on this grassy terrain. It's surrounded by these wonderful rivers and streams and mountainscapes. But there's a local legend as well attributed to that valley. So the story goes way back in the 1800s when the original indigenous people were living around that area, called the Dene tribe. Now, we all know from indigenous tribes that there are various sub-tribes as well that exist within the communities, right?
Yeah.
So the Dene people used to live by the banks of the Nahanni Valley, the lowlands, and there was a separate tribe called the Naha tribes that lived up in the mountains and would descend frequently to raid the other villages and communities and then would retreat back into the mountains, right? So one day the Dene people decided that we need to retaliate back because they had just been raided by those things, right? So they ventured into the mountain, trekked near to the settlements, and when they were ready to attack the place, they didn't find anyone. They found their camps, fires burning, everything was set neatly, but none of the people were ever discovered. And it's just a tribe that disappeared one day.
The whole tribe.
The whole tribe just disappeared one day. And there's a popular theory out there that says that they might be descendants of the Navajo people, that they emigrated over there, but it's still not conclusive. The only common thread to that theory is that both of them speak similar languages.
Yeah, but also it's not really, like, people don't know too much because that area is largely undiscovered.
Yeah, it's
unexplored. It's unexplored. Like, we don't really know what's over there. I mean, obviously, when it comes to the Headless Valley, like you were saying, people have been known to go there, and how I came to figure out about it is that, I got super high like you did, but then you got me super high, and then you showed it to me, and I was like, But anyways.
The interesting fact about that, the story doesn't end just with the indigenous people. Like, as you said, the name Headless Valley doesn't come from the discovery of headless bodies of indigenous people. It comes from these two brothers, gold prospectors called the McLeod brothers. Now, this story takes place in the early 1900s when settlers started coming in from the west and started populating Canada and the entire North American continent, right?
Yeah.
So these two brothers, the McLeod brothers, went on an expedition in the valley to find gold because they were gold prospectors.
Yeah.
The first time they went in, they found the gold mine spot and they brought in gold, they traded, made their riches, and they decided to go back again with another person this time. This time it's a 3-man team, right? Two brothers and one Scottish engineer. So they go into the valley, 2 years pass by, they don't come back. So now their brother, Charlie, that was left behind, he goes out searching for them.
Yeah.
And that's where he finds their headless bodies next to their camp by the riverside.
Damn.
Who's headless bodies?
His brothers, the two brothers. The Scottish engineer, nobody
two
knows
people
where he's
that
still
went there,
yet.
yeah.
Some say that he was spotted near Vancouver with like all the gold riches and everything, but it's still unconfirmed. So third guy, I mean, see, with places like such as the Nahanni Valley that's unexplored, we don't know what lurks over there. Obviously, we know grizzly bears are there, we know wolves are there.
What about what if there are some tribes who are still existing now?
There could be still uncontacted tribes over there.
Yeah,
but
that's the
thing.
main theory.
The place is so fucking massive that you don't really know what can get you out there.
Yeah.
It's a huge thing. And the creepy part about this is that this headless phenomena continued on. It didn't just stop with the McLeod brothers. The next victim was this, I think another gold prospector called Martin Fosenberg or something, European name, whatever. Put your European surname in the comment.
Yeah.
So that guy was found headless next to his burning cabin. He had a cabin in the valley that was set ablaze, and then his body was placed next to it.
Yeah, see, so what I find interesting is that there's no way that it could be a wild animal, because think about it. What are the chances that a wild animal kills the first two brothers by chomping off their heads or slicing off their heads or whatever, and then kills this third person years, decades later the exact same way? So there's no possible way it could be an animal. It's either a Wendigo or it's an uncontacted tribe. Probably an uncontacted tribe, but people like to scream, Wendigo! Wendigo, oh my god, until dawn!
Well, I mean, Wendigo is a popular urban, not an urban legend, I'd say a mythical legend in North America, right? Because of the indigenous tribe. But there is one account in Canada that calls for Wendigo attack. So this was, I believe, in the Fort Kent area.
Yeah.
Where this doctor called Thomas Burden moved in the early 1920s over there to settle with his family, and the local community was also living there, an estimated of around 250 people, right? Now apparently that area was already being haunted by the alleged Wendigo, because farmers would always report their cattle being found disemboweled, chickens being torn apart left and right. So they were already aware of this presence, but things started getting escalating when a mysterious plague took over the village. And the doctor was burdened with the sole task to come up with a cure for all of the ailments, but he wasn't successful. And his wife also got that same disease, and that's what drove him to insanity, and allegedly allowed him to be possessed by the Wendigo, and he killed the entire community. Till this day, only 11 people survived that whole ordeal. And it is a real thing, you can look it up. It's not made up.
Talking about insane people, there's a story, not a story, it's a real life murder, suicide incident that happened back in Delhi. A whole family.
Just for our viewers, not Canada's Delhi, India's Delhi.
So, whole family of 11 people, grandfather, grandmother, husband, wife, son, daughter. Whole family of 11 people found dead at the same time, in the same place, in the same ways.
How does that happen? I mean, walk me
So,
through this.
what turns out these people had a common familial mental issue. Okay, and a few of them started seeing apparitions of their dead father. Their dead father, they saw apparitions of him, or they were hallucinating about it.
Yeah.
And what the eldest son or the youngest son, he saw a vision in which his father came and talked to him and inspired him to inspire the rest of the family to commit suicide. And in a way, it was so weird because he inspired his little kids. The youngest one who died was 15. It's a whole range of people from the age of 15 to 75.
Yeah.
All of them. How do you think that one person is able to inspire so many different ages of people from the same family to commit suicide together?
I mean, be fair enough. Like when you're a 15-year-old, you know what you're thinking. Right? You're not thinking about all these spiritual concepts. You're thinking about fucking jacking off and getting with the prettiest girl in the class.
So
Right?
Exactly.
How is it that the one guy was able to go through the whole family? Like grandfather and all we can understand. They are old people, superstition. And it's also linked to some kind of a superstition in this. But the younger ones, how did they get influenced with that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you because it's like,
Really
you know, superstitions have a very weird way of working in the sense that, like, it's almost like there's a scientific term for it where it's like mass hysteria. Yeah, like mass hysteria where people can believe in these things, and I believe that the more people believe in things, the more it tends to manifest. Like, for example, back in their, like, kind of Edo area, like Japan, like back olden times Japan, there's this mythological creature called the Kappa. Now, the viewer, you may have heard of the Kappa before in pop culture, turtle-looking thing with a weird, like, hairpiece, like, that goes around its head very circularly. Very weird-looking creature, but there's some interesting things that I didn't know about the creature. So, apparently, I always thought it was considered to be a demon, but apparently they're gods, right? And if they're not worshipped as such, that's when they like to, you know, eat kids, drown kids. You know, they'll actually, funny thing about them, they like to, like, if you disrespect them, they will bend you over, they'll shove your hand up your ass and take a mythical organ from your butt. Yeah,
from your
butt. They remove a mythical organ from your butt. No more jujutsu sorcery. You know? But,
for our viewers that don't know about the Kappa, here's the image right here. That's the motherfucker that's gonna put his ass in your anus and rip out your mythical organ.
Perfect. That's the one. But he's chill with you if you give him cucumbers.
Yeah, all you need is cucumbers.
If you give him cucumbers, he's chill.
That's weird.
He likes
a
cucumbers.
weird choice of food to calm down.
That sounds like you're on a hot summer day.
Yeah, literally. But but the funny thing about cucumbers is there's a riddle about a cucumber where what is long, what is hard, and has cum in the middle. Cucumber. There you go. Most people would say penis. Right?
I think you need to do the voice. So then our viewers know what you're talking about.
Okay. I'll for the viewers. So what's long, hard, and has cum in the middle? A penis. No, it's cucumber, you Batman. Okay, but
fun little callback to that awesome movie.
But moving on, something that relates to cum is masturbation. That is true. So, obviously, we were all, you know, like pre-teens, I would assume, teenager, when we, you know, went on our journeys of self-discovery, what did not, you know, maybe like we were fucking, you know, I mean, I know for me, it was funny, I had an iPad, right? So I had like the 4K big screen, you know, most people probably first discovered it on their phones, but I had the fucking iPad, right? I was living in luxury. So I was on my iPad, you know, was watching Family Guy, actually, and the episode mentioned pornography. I was about 11, 12 years old, and I was like, what is porn? You know, I didn't know what it was. So I asked I asked my mom, and she was like, no, you're too young. Well, like, you know, as any normal mother would say, right? I hope. But, so I'm like, but, you know, curious me, unrestricted access to the internet, what do you think I'm gonna do?
Porn.
Find it out?
Find it out. Yeah, I looked up boobies, porn, you know, and like whatnot, right? And eventually, you know what? I just found a video that tickled my fancy, just blonde lady and just an older gentleman, just like, you know, doing their thing. And that's when it started, and now it's gone from that to it's so weird because something I'd like to quickly bring up. Porn has become such so intertwined with social media in a sense. Like, you know, the whole Adam 22, Lena the Plug thing. And like, you know, all these porn stars are also streamers who are also doing this, who are also doing that. Like, it's such a lucrative industry that's really intertwined itself into social media now. But honestly, I think it's a good thing for the people that are in the industry, but a bad thing for everyone else. Because porn actually kills the gray matter in your brain, and depending on how many times you're stroking it a day, like Like, I should be brain dead by
I
now.
don't know.
Yeah.
Big basis for that.
But,
but let's trust it.
Yeah, but
Bro, if that was the case, then I should be a fucking.
I should be in a fucking mental ward.
I would be a special grade retard, bro. With the amount of times I've jacked
Talking about
off.
that, what about you, Alice? What's your first experience?
My first experience. Well, I remember my first porn video, like my first porn experience.
No, I'm not talking about.
The video I remember, it was bizarre that he accurately remembers his first video where it was an older gentleman.
I just have a
and blonde.
really good memory, to be fair.
It's common with porn, bro. Like even I have that first porn video memory burned into me, which I actively seeked out. It was called Baby Mamas and Baby Daddies 2. It was an hour-long video, ebony porn.
What?
Yeah. And the day I found that video, I had a 10 a.m. cram school class, right? But since I was so intrigued and so engrossed in that video, bro, I didn't go to class, bro. I cancelled that class because I wanted to watch that hour-long video. And just see.
That's crazy.
Come on. Isn't that too much?
It was
Okay,
too much
finding out something
for a
for the first time.
14-year-old. It was too much. But then that was my gateway to get into porn, right?
That's crazy.
So I got heavy into porn, and then there's this popular reality show called Big Boss. Back in India, that's a spin-off of Big Brother back over here. And there was a contestant over there. Her name is Sunny Leone. I don't know if you've heard of her.
Yeah.
World famous porn star.
You have.
Yeah.
We all know about her because I'm pretty sure when he was watching that episode and I was watching that episode, there was a question asked to her that what does she do as a profession, right? And when she spoke her profession, it was censored. So I was like, wait, what the fuck? What does she do? You know, in both of us.
But
I mean,
For me, like I had already seen.
you had already seen it.
Yeah.
She could just say adult
That
film
was
star.
it.
She didn't. I think she said that or something along those lines. But yet the Indian media decided to censor that shit. And I was like, you know what?
They'll beep out anything that's porn.
That's porn or sex, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what?
Well, no, you were telling me that like Indian culture, it's weird. I feel like, well, I'll quick bring this up. I didn't mean to cut either of you off, but I just find it weird that a lot of like Indian like women that I interact with, act like like Japanese women. They act like all lollies. They act like all that shit. But the thing is that like the weird thing is that in Japan, like the sexual culture over there is like a huge thing. It's like a big thing. But in India, it's very suppressed.
Yeah.
Right. It's very like
Low-key.
shunned upon.
So it's not like that. We got the biggest population in the world. It's like on the outside, on the surface, people are like,
It's shunned upon.
No, it's sense. No, you can't talk to your dad about sex. You can't talk to your mom about sex. Who can you talk to about it?
Yeah.
Lisa Ann.
You go to the internet.
Lisa Ann, you can
find
talk to
somebody
her.
on it, you find Lisa Ann. You find
Priya Anjali Rai.
Yeah.
Angela White. Do you want me to go
Obviously.
with? Cara Mira.
Well, obviously, I'm
Katrina Moreno. Emily Willis.
Tory Black.
Tory Black. Tory Lanez? Not a porn star.
Yes.
That's funny. Free Tory.
Free Tory. Free my boy Tory.
But,
For me, it was this friend of mine. His name is Dennis, and I was what, 14, 13.
Hmm?
And this guy, I asked him to give me, I asked him to copy a movie for me and give it to me. So, because in India, nobody really buys a original CD.
It's all burned.
Yeah. So this guy, he gave me a CD for a movie, and I think it was for Titanic or something. That time. Took it home like happy. Yeah, I'm gonna watch a movie. Put it on. All I can see is a huge dick. Girls
Call
sitting
it Titanic.
bumping on it. Crazy. I'm like, what the fuck?
So you got the
What the fuck
Titanic
is that?
porn parody.
Oh yeah. I was like, what the fuck just happened right now?
A Titanic
Like,
is gigantic.
let's watch more. Whoa, that's how it goes. Okay.
What do
The
you
thing
do?
about the thing about the relevance of porn in India is that because there is no talk between the family, you can't talk to your parents or your
Yeah,
siblings. Maybe
yeah.
you can talk to siblings if it's two guys, but definitely not to your parents. right?
Yeah, because it's
So
very
porn does
fun
play a
porn.
big role, but then it also creates expectations which are way above.
Yeah, that's one
Right.
super
That's one
unhealthy
thing
thing
about
about porn is that it creates unrealistic expectations.
Mm.
Like in just the sense that like you gotta realize that, well, not just porn, this can really be said about social media, is that what you see on social media, it isn't real.
Yeah, it's not
Okay,
real.
it's not fucking real. And I hate that all these little prepubescent like high schoolers and shit see this shit and think it's real and think it's like, oh shit, like I gotta be like this, I gotta.
Yeah.
And that kills your mental.
It kills
that
my
fucking
mental.
kills your mental.
To all the white women watching this video, come date an Indian guy, man. I mean, I don't like Zach Bryan or Morgan Wallen, but if you make me listen to it,
yeah,
I might
to all
like
the
it.
men and women watching this video, you're beautiful. You know,
Beautiful.
like fucking like.
Unless you're fat as fuck, go to the gym.
Like, I mean, even then, you know, you have some redeeming qualities. Like, fucking, if you're beautiful, you're beautiful.
I mean, if you're fat and funny, then you don't need to go to the gym.
I like
If you're
that.
just fat and annoying, then
If you're
I'm
fat,
doing you a favor.
if
Go
you're
to the
fat
gym.
and a bad person, then yeah.
Go to the gym.
But,
you're not doing any of us a favor by taking up more space.
Yeah, totally. But also, I mean, like, another thing too about porn. I mean, like, the people that are actually in the industry and doing it every day, the unrealistic people, right? It makes sense that it's unrealistic because, well, they're in the industry, it's their job. It's their job to look a certain way, it's their job to perform a certain way.
They're doing a
right?
performance, and in short, it's a performance.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. It's a performance, it's not, right?
It's
You're
an
watching
act.
a movie.
You're
essentially.
watching a movie.
But, yeah. And I gotta say, obviously I know my favorite actors and actresses when it comes to the movie world, but what about favorite actors and actresses when it comes to the porn world?
See, with
yeah.
porn, it's a ever-changing process, right? When you're 14,
Yeah, I agree.
When you're 14,
It
you
changes
have
a lot.
your specific typeset. You like to watch those specific porn stars.
And then you age.
But then as you age and you become more of a
Yeah.
degenerate and you start exploring your kinks, you start, appreciating the underappreciated amateur porn because those guys will do fucking anything, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They'll do fucking anything to be
Actually,
a
what I feel
camera.
is that the amateur shit that looks more real than the
Well, because it is, because it's
I prefer
amateur.
the amateur.
Yeah.
But then, like, what about you, Alex? Like, after you did the real thing, if you actually had sex, are you still into porn that much or not?
I mean, yeah, I don't have a girl right now, so I'm heavily into porn.
That's fine.
But no, I would say porn didn't really meddle into my sex performance. I would say anime meddled into my sex performance.
Oh.
Where I felt like fucking guts, bro. You know the first chapter when he blows that demon's back on, he's sweating.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck. That was me. That was me. Sweating profusely. But coming back to Sunny Leone, let me drop you a little lore on Sunny Leone and the marketing, the brilliance of marketing. So ever since that board was censored out, half of the Indian population didn't know what the fuck she did, right? So obviously any smart person like myself Googled her and you get a link for her website, right?
Oh no.
The first page. So I open it and it's not, there's no nudity, nothing involved, it's just a picture of her putting a disclaimer saying that you need to be 18 to enter the center. I was like, fuck yeah, man.
That's how you know.
I
Yeah.
entered
That's
and I
how
was
you
like, wait, holy fuck, bro. This is what she looks like without clothes.
Ooh.
And then I visited that site for I think at least a month, just looking at the titles of her videos and then searching the free videos on videos. That's what I did. I'm the porn guru, man. I'll give you tips and tricks.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But what about you, bro? What are your top 3 porn stars of, let's say, the 2015 era?
So the thing about me is I would be looking at the names, but
Category.
Category.
Yeah, if you don't know the
Category.
name, just like, what are you watching?
Amateur
Amateur.
or I will go for big movies, but big butt.
Kill this man right
Big
now.
butts.
Guillermo, stab this man.
Big butts. See, I'm more of a guy who looks for aesthetics.
Oh.
Just on the side,
So
you know.
you're an ass man.
Aesthetics or aesthetics.
He's an ass man.
It works for me, yeah.
He's an ass man. He's an ass man. And then what about you? Are you an ass man or thighs man?
Well, listen. Well, it depends. I mean,
Okay.
I'm definitely a thighs guy, but I will say that like top 3 actual stars from the 2015 era. I mean, back then it was more like Jeremy, where like I wasn't really paying attention to that kind of stuff. But currently, I would probably say top 3 for me are probably like probably Sweetie Fox.
Sweetie Fox.
She makes fire content. There's this other chick, Molly Red Wolf.
Molly Red Wolf, I've heard of.
Yeah, and then there's one that's gotten pretty popular, Candy Love.
Candy Love.
Yeah,
You remember?
that's my top 3 right now.
You know about that famous one that recently got famous
In no
because
order.
of yelling the N-word in a very seductive way on Twitter, where it's this chick with the bob cut, the white,
What?
and she says in a very seductive tone. I'll show you the
How can you
clip.
say that in a seductive way?
She said it in a seductive way, bro, and I've seen on Twitter,
We don't want to get canceled.
we won't get cancelled because the people of that particular community replied to a tweet saying, I am from this community and I approve of this message. So I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Show us after the
I'll
podcast.
show you after the podcast.
Yeah.
That's
That'll be our
weird,
opening clip
though.
next episode.
That's
Just of her
weird.
just saying the N word. No, I'm kidding. I won't
Damn,
cancel it.
that just goes to show that women douchebags exist. But speaking about douchebags, now, okay, so for me, I'll start us off here. I feel like whenever I think of douchebag, have you guys ever heard of Ray William Johnson?
Yep. I
So
will agree.
he used to do music. I don't know if he still does music or not. I haven't really been keeping up with him. But he had a song called Douchebag. And I remember when I was a kid, I would listen to it all the time. And I just thought it was the funniest fucking shit ever. Like total 2010 YouTube like era type humor and like, you know, all that stuff. But I feel like for me, what constitutes a douchebag in Canadian society? One, I feel like someone that's very narcissistic. I feel like narcissism is a very like big thing of what makes, well, not just a Canadian, but like anyone
Anybody
a
a
douchebag. You know, like they have to be narcissistic. They have to be egotistical to an extent. And then I feel like it's what they wear. Like, I feel like a lot of people that rock like fucking chains, like don't get me wrong, like you can rock a chain and be a cool guy. But I feel like a lot of people that rock chains are like, you know, I mean, like wear wife beaters. I mean, not so far. We're just like,
I mean,
that's stereotypical.
I would
But
like, yeah.
I would say like chains, wife beaters, and like, you know, if they got like a faux hawk, like, fucking aviators, and you know,
And
they're,
a chin beard?
they're walking down the street like this. Like they're just fucking, and yeah, they got a goatee or a chin beard,
Chin
bro.
beard.
That's how you can look at that guy and you're just like,
Yeah.
yep.
I mean, for me, my personal.
Yeah, now
like,
what about you
stereotype
guys when it
people
comes to
is-
Indian context?
You know-
An Indian douchebag?
Yeah.
Right there.
Right there.
Right there.
Right
Sitting
there.
like an uncle, talks like an uncle.
Well, I'm half
looks at
Indian,
that
so-
like an uncle, does everything like a uncle. Now let's go.
But yeah, an Indian douchebag, I would say, typically looks like this guy. He's got the chains, wears the
I
boots.
see. I don't have no chain, bro. What are you saying?
And I've noticed a lot of douchebags in India wear hats. I've always met a douchebag that wears hats. They wear
And a lot of douchebags are losing
Context, this guy wears fucking hats like all the goddamn time.
Can we get the hat? Yes,
Yeah.
the legendary.
Yeah.
Please put the hat on this man.
hair. Please don't. My girlfriend will kill me. She hates me with a hat.
Douche!
Prime A douchebag right there.
Douche!
And we see that's how a douche would throw his cap.
Yeah,
That is true members.
actually, I agree. That was
Take
pretty
that.
douchey.
I'll take that as a win.
A dude. And you know why I say this? Not because he wears a hat as well. Because I have an older cousin brother, right? And the moment I discovered the word douchebag and I had access to a smartphone, I saved his name as douchebag, and it's been fucking 8 years since I haven't changed his name. He asked me, bro, what does since he's Indian, the way he said douchebag wasn't normal. He asked me, what is this douchebag? I was like, it's not douchebag. It's douchebag, you douchebag. And he's like, yeah, what is it? I said, no, it means a very nice, respectable person. Until this day, he believes
That's so
that's
funny.
what douchebag means.
That's so funny until he watches this episode.
and it's real, bro. He's fucking 30 years old.
That's fucking jokes. That is fucking jokes.
Oh, right.
We're very
Talking about douchebags, like every other country views a person as a douchebag. I mean, there are common grounds, obviously. Right?
Well, that's just being racist.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Not
I'm kidding.
racist,
I'm
come.
kidding.
I would say there are levels of calling someone a douchebag, right?
Like-
Like when you're riding and someone cuts you off, douchebag.
Yeah.
Like in India, if you're in the bus or in the metro and a woman comes up and you don't get up,
You're a
then
douchebag.
Because it does a douchebag. But the same thing if you do here, no, it's just normal. You paid your money, you're sitting. That's
Yeah.
all. I mean, if you don't stand up for a handicapped person, then sure you are kind of a douchebag. But
That's how a douchebag would think.
That's how a douchebag would think. Yeah, to be fair. That is kind of
why would
douchey.
you want to give a seat to someone who actually needs it? You would give it.
But no, to be fair, I am a douchebag.
I think everyone's-
exactly like
I
you.
think
I
everyone's a
paid
bit
for
of a
this seat. I'm gonna
douchebag, to be
fucking sit
fair.
on it, bro.
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
a functioning independent woman. You can stand.
Yeah. I think
If you were
everyone's
sitting
a
on the
little
seat, I wouldn't
douchey.
ask
I
you to
mean,
get up.
if you're pregnant or so, then sure you
Yeah,
can.
yeah,
Because you
yeah.
need the seat.
It's
obviously.
it's two people.
Yeah.
That
That's
pregnancy
douchey.
thing is a lot.
Douchey of me,
There's a lot of
like-
common over here. Huh? Like pregnancy thing, teens getting pregnant.
Oh yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
Tinder, just use
My high
protection,
school,
guys.
there was probably the entire 4 years I was in high school, I probably heard of like 6 pregnancy scares. And then one of them was actually ended up going through.
What?
Like one of them actually ended up being pregnant. But the rest were just scares.
Oh.
Not from me. No. Like I'm talking like just I've heard.
Jaren,
not from me.
Jaren was thinking this guy's calling me a
No,
douchebag while
no.
he's putting seeds left and right
I'm
for
not.
people.
I'm not planting seeds like that. I'm not a fucking beet farmer.
You're
okay?
telling
Like,
me Dil fucking lined up 4 girls and were like, one
No, man.
was successful, one passed the
man.
test, the other 4 nah.
Yeah,
Not
just
breed.
like Dio from JoJo's Part 3, just with all those women, just fucking.
By the way, douchebags, coming back to that topic again, I feel like there are levels. What would
Yeah.
you say is a level 1 douchebag?
I would say, let's categorize this in like a pyramid.
Alright.
Because I feel like the most common douchebag is a level 1 douchebag. Because I feel like everyone is a level 1 douchebag. I feel like everyone is a douchebag to an extent.
Yeah.
Right? Like everyone has those narcissistic thoughts and tendencies, but they only become apparent when we act on them. Right? So I just feel like everybody is a level 1 douchebag. I'd say there's 5 levels. Level 2 douchebag is like you're acting on your narcissistic and egotistical tendencies more often than like the average person per se. Like, because some people, I mean, to be fair, the reasons in which people are narcissistic and egotistical vary.
Yeah.
Whether that be how they were brought up, their physical attributes, like someone that's naturally gifted with good
Buff.
height or good tend to be more naturally narcissistic or egotistical. Also, I just feel like
People that look beautiful from a young age.
yeah, people that are like women too. Like women can be douchebags. Like women that are naturally beautiful as well can get on a high horse, right?
Would you call them douchebags or douchettes?
I would just
What?
Douchebags
no
or
need
douchettes?
no need to complicate it.
Just
but
keep it one term, common for all.
but
There is a common term, bitches.
yeah.
What?
I wouldn't.
Bitches.
Yeah, but that's like offensive now to women. That's like offensive. Well, it's like not when you say it to a guy, but when you say it to a girl, then it's like
Yeah.
But whatever, who cares? But
Bitches.
at the same time,
They care.
so then I would say a level 3 is like okay, like you're like a douchebag, but you're also like a bad person.
Yeah, like
Like,
slapping
you're like-
anyone randomly.
You're like
in the street.
you're like a fucking asshole, like. And then I would say level 4 douchebag is like you're probably a criminal, like you probably have a search warrant for you in a country or something. And then level 5 douchebag is probably like megalomaniacal.
Megalomaniac, like
Like,
that's the
douche.
guy. 3 children died. Yep, that's probably him. That guy's doing
Yeah.
serial killers.
Yeah, because I would say serial killers are probably the biggest douchebags because they're the ones that are the most narcissistic and like. Because think about
And
it,
also
if you
they are
think
able
you
to
can
act
dictate,
upon those
Yeah.
thoughts. Everyone might have thought about killing someone at one point of their life, like this guy.
but that's your id.
I just want to give him one, but you won't act upon it.
Because your super ego
Couldn't be
tells
me.
you not to.
Yeah.
But I also feel like too, like serial killers, what makes them the most narcissistic is just like they have a tendency to actually will act on their, like you said, act on it, but also they feel like they can properly judge and decide who gets to live and who gets to die. And that is the most narcissistic thing of all.
Playing God.
Playing God.
Playing
Yeah.
God.
But
Big on why?
because nobody should get a say in what and when something dies or not, you know, unless if it's a spider in your bedroom. But yeah,
Yeah, spider in my
That guy
bedroom.
needs to die.
yeah.
That guy, if he's in a corner though,
It's
where he
fine.
lives.
Yeah, if he's in a corner or like, you know, you can always take him out and put him in another room too.
I mean,
Uh,
I would love I would
Put
love
him
to
in
have the
your brother's
ability
room.
to just talk to animals, you know,
Yeah.
like especially spiders. I'd be like, all right, you're in the room,
I'd be
you're
like,
in the
"Hey,
corner.
man."
That's your spot. I know a lot of mosquitoes visit that joint. Just stay there, bro, and you'll be good. You'll live for 10 years.
Yeah. That would be cool though, yeah, to be able to communicate with animals.
You know, I think it would solve male lonelyism if you could talk.
Yeah.
You know, just
That or
imagine.
thugging it out.
You just go into your room. There's a spider waiting for. Hey, buddy, you know, I just
Men
ate
are
10
like the most
mosquitoes.
depressed beings in this planet.
That is true.
Like they don't open up, they don't have avenues to open up. Those who do open up are
Bro, what if you get more depressed because you've got a depressing spider also living with you? Where you just like you go in and then he tells you, hey man, what's up? And then he's like,
Hey,
not
man.
much, what up with you? Nah, I just got one mosquito today, bro.
Yeah.
so sad.
Fuck. That'd be so fun.
And then he hits you with the, not gonna lie, your ear holes looking kind of cozy. I might.
Oh no.
Get away.
The
This is
fuck you
fake.
said?
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck, I'd love to have the ability to talk to animals. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, this was a very fruitful and fun episode. If there are any other topics, like I always fucking say, fucking leave it down in the comments below. But I also realized that my fucking editor hasn't uploaded the first episode as well. So can't really blame you for that. But until next time, this is Unfiltered Podcast with me, Alex, and the boys.
Bye. What have I done? Bye.